Pošli. Čau. Řekni, až pojedeš. I guess it's 5 o'clock right now because we heard the bell ring 5 times, and that means that we are live with the Honest Guides. My name is Janek, that's Honza behind the camera, and welcome to Prague. Today we're going to take you on a short walk through our lovely city because since many of you can't come to Prague, we've decided that we can bring Prague to you through the lens of our phone. I hope the sound is loud and clear. There's people taking pictures of us. The guy just did this. I don't know if that's good or bad. And we'll take you for a short walk starting here on Malá Strana, Lesser Town, next to St. Nicholas Church. I'll show you later. This will be long and slow, so if you guys came for a minute, you may want to stick around or maybe play it later. And we'll walk across the Charles Bridge, eventually to Old Town and Old Town Square. And the reason this video is named Free Beer is because Honza called me like half an hour ago and he said they are pouring out beer in one of the pubs. So they're advertising they'll give it to people for free. Not to drink in the pub, obviously you can right now, you have to bring it home. So we want to show how it works, and that will be the very end of our walk. So if you came for the free beer, you may want to stick around for some time. Honza's nodding like this. I hope everything's working fine. I mean, the sound and the picture. We should not run out of data. Whatever. This behind me is the St. Nicholas Church. It's one of the most beautiful buildings there is in Prague, obviously Baroque. And here's a first fun fact I will share with you. The building behind me is Mathematical Physical Faculty of the Charles University. And that building is actually older than the church. By not much, a couple of years, but it's older. Let's get walking. We're on a wire with Honza. Honziku, you can talk to me. You don't have to be quiet. Honza's all good, all good. We're obviously not going to go inside as pretty much everything's closed, including restaurants and bars and pubs. They only do delivery or takeout right now. So that's why you'll see windows opened and, you know, them handing it to people. We're gonna try not to get run over by a tram. It's one thing that happens to tourists a lot. Also, if you will have a question that will be highlighted, we will answer it, or if it will be regarding of what we're showing right now. In the end, we'll get to more questions, but we're also trying to get a moderator for the chat. So I hope there's not much spam going on right now. We already have a moderator? Nice. I pushed a button to wait for the signal. There's a green signal, let's go. So we're leaving the Malostranské náměstí, Lesser Town Square. Once again, you can now see better the church behind me. How do you like that, huh? It's you can go up to that tower. We've mentioned it a million times. Well, you can't go right now, but it's 100 crowns to get up, and the view is pretty epic. Right now we're approaching Mostecká Street, which would translate to the Bridge Street. We can, I believe, walk in the road. No, there's a car coming right now. So we'll shift to the side. Now we have a good view of the church. Let's show it one more time, I'm sorry. Nice, isn't it? We'll see it more. As I've mentioned, there'll be moments when I will not talk. I will simply be quiet, and you can pretend you're walking with us. I don't know if we can get the wide angle on this or no. No? All right, so just narrow. McDonald's instead of McDrive, what it's called in Prague. It's not called drive-through, but McDrive. I know Americans usually like that. They have something called McWalk. So you can walk up to a window and get your cheeseburger. So that's happening right here. One thing that is popping up in Prague, and I do want to mention it, and it's happening in a lot of places, is that there's new things opening up during these crazy times. So you would think that businesses are shutting down, right? Well, no. There's this one company that apparently has enough cash, enough dough to be opening new businesses. And guess what the company is? It's these ATMs. We'll be seeing more of them. These ATMs are tricky. We've covered them a couple times. If you think it's safe to get money out of ATM, I'm sure it's safe, but the ATM can trick you and charge you certain fees that you may not realize at first glance. So where it used to be an exchange office is suddenly the ATM, and there'll be more of them, many, many more. So I heard this guy who runs a store in downtown, and he was on the street as they were putting this one up, actually another one, and he said, well, very soon it will be just me and the ATMs on the street. He was actually right. Then. Oh, dude, we gotta watch out for the wire. Can you imagine if we would get stuck? Here, you will be able to see what our book, we made a book, did I tell you? What our book looks like if you leave it in the sun for a year. So that's our book. Originally green, now blue. So if you don't like the cover page of our book, just leave it out in the sun for a year and this is what will happen to it. Also, this is a great souvenir shop, unfortunately closed now. It's called Praktik. That's where you can get your souvenirs when you'll get back to Prague. The house, I'll turn this into a tourist tour, may I? The house is called by the 3 rings because originally houses wouldn't have street numbers. They would always have a sign, a symbol. We can point it out later as well. So this one was the house by the 3 rings. Not only a great souvenir shop, also our favorite coffee place, and my friend's iPhone service. That's his car. And he has the coolest place there. I have 2 friends who have iPhone services. They're rivals. Moving on, the places that are opened, surprisingly, now in Prague, are trdelník stands and exchange offices. Quite bizarre, but that's what we're in right now in Prague. How do you feel about that, Honza?
I think that you should have put your mode in nerušit mode.
Oh, you're getting messages?
Mm-hmm.
I did put it in nerušit mode. I'm telling you I did. Honza's mad at me that I'm getting messages from people. Hey, if somebody's watching, please don't send me messages now. It's basically like telling people to send me messages. We're approaching the bridge. We've entered pedestrian zone, which means no cars allowed, so we shouldn't see or meet any. That's funny, there's really 2 exchange offices right here opened. This patio here is one of the first places that I've actually tried during the first, when tourists were gone and these restaurants were dropping prices, you could sit here and have a meal for 4 euros and a beer for 2 euros. So I actually sat here and I thought it was going to be awesome. It was okay. I mean, the food and drink was fine, but you're sitting in this like plastic cage. So you would think the benefit of sitting next to the Charles Bridge would be you'd actually see it, but you couldn't really because there were plastic things around you. So it wasn't that cool, but otherwise the place was fine. Can you show the view one more time, please? I actually did a tour today. I met 2 random tourists from Bulgaria. Hello to Bulgaria, if anybody's watching. And I didn't have anything to do today, so I gave them a walk. Dobrý den. The guy took off his headphones, hoping I would say something interesting, and I didn't, so he kept on going. I will be pointing out one guy along the way, because I think he's important for the story of the honest guide, and it's the Saint John of Nepomuk. That's him right there. See the statue? We've mentioned him multiple times. He's the most famous Czech saint, recognizable by 5 stars above his head. There's a story to it, and I'll point him out every time we go past him, so when you're in Prague, you can look for him. It's sort of a Saint John hunt. I do have an album in my phone where I save all the pictures wherever I see him and find him. Můžem? Všechno v pohodě zatím? Are we happy, Vincent? Getting on the bridge? I feel like I should let you enjoy the lovely Gothic bridge we just got on. You do see what we're doing right now, and I'll keep talking. Obviously, tour guides right now, I don't want to say they're out of business, but you can't really tour people around Prague. So you'll see a lot of people with phones doing live streams on Zoom calls and Skypes. And usually it's tour guides where you pay to get a tour. And it's quite interesting. So you would normally see a person with an umbrella with a group of 40 people, and now it's a person holding up a phone, just like we're doing, just what we're doing right now. Obviously, we are still filming with Honza. The topics that we're covering with Honest Guide are different. And one of the topics that we're doing now is places you cannot see, places you will not be able to get to. And the reason I'm mentioning this now is because we did a canoe ride on the river. Remember, Honzik? And the canoe ride was, my friend has a canoe in Prague, and we borrowed it from him. So we did a tour through Chocotopia, which is this part of the river. It's a channel, man-made. Looks like a little Venice in Prague. So it will be a lovely video where we ride on the canoe. It was fun. I really enjoyed it, especially because there are no tourist boats now on the river. There's usually these huge boats that you wouldn't be able to avoid if the season was on. But now that they're gone, you can take a canoe ride. And there's no dolphins. Dolphins. Weird word. We say delphine, not dolphin. Now, here you go, a Czech lesson. How to say dolphin in Czech? Delphine.
You need to repeat it more.
Okay, so how to say dolphin in Czech? Delphine. Delphine is dolphin.
Yes.
We've also started doing something with Honza called a Prague mini guide. There are little fun facts that sometimes Honza allows me to say on the videos, but sometimes he just goes like me. So we did an entire series called Prague Mini Guides. If you are our Patreon, you know it. If you're not and you're curious about this show, it's a minute short videos packed with one thing. And there's many of them coming. So basically, if you watch all these, you'll be an expert and you can become a guide to yourself. I'll give you an example of a mini guide. Do you want the lamppost, the numbers, or you want to show Kampa?
I thought the barriers.
Oh, the barriers. Yeah, that's great. I have two then. You'll get two mini guides samples. So if you, as Honza will pan, you will see a line on the ground, on the street. See, I'm sorry. See that woman right there? She's doing exactly what I said. See, she's a tour guide. She even has the umbrella. So that's pretty funny that we came across her. So she's doing exactly what we are doing, except she's a professional. We're not. We're just two dudes. I'm sorry, back to the lines on the ground. Those are everywhere around the city, and you will see them. You will never notice them probably, but if you have a good eye, you'll be like, what is this for? Well, it's the basis for a barrier in case of the floods. And we had big floods in Prague back in 2002. And after the big floods, they build these. So somewhere here, there are the pieces of the wall are hidden, so the army or the firemen can build a wall on top of these. The other thing I wanted to show you as a mini guide, of course in the mini guide it's more detailed and it's better, is that, where will I go? I'm sorry, next lamp, okay? We'll speed up a bit. We'll skip this boring part of the bridge. There's only like cool statues and stuff. But lamps, right? Well, these lampposts on Charles Bridge, and not only here, but along the way that we're going to be going, are actually not electric powered, but gas powered. So there's a gas pipe running in the Charles Bridge. And to prove my point, check it out. It says gas. How about that? So, and you can see there's that little hatch, or how would you call it, a little pulley thing? So
Pulley thingy sounds good.
Pulley thingy sounds good. So that's how you would light it up. You would pull on it. Now it's automatic, but you could turn it on and off. And I have a friend who wanted to show it to someone, and he said, you can turn the lamp off. Please do not do that. I dare you. Well, I'll continue with the story. And he showed it that he turned the lamp off by pulling on it. And a police officer gave him a fine of, I don't know, 20 euros. And this guy said, but I wanted to clearly say, fined for turning off the lights on the old town of Prague. Old, gas lamps. It's a plane. Whenever it's cloudy, they're louder. Moving on, and we're getting to another St. John of Nepomuk statue on the bridge, which is actually the oldest one on the bridge. Was that TikTok going to happen?
I think so.
So, very short story, and I'm sure there's someone watching who knows the story better than I do, but St. John of Nepomuk was a priest. He was told a secret by the wife of the king. The king said, what did she tell you? And St. John of Nepomuk said, I'm not going to tell you. So he tortured him, killed him, and threw him off the bridge. That's him. And you can actually see the story on the statue, under the statue, where these people just touched the statue. You don't need to touch it, but you can see the story. That's St. John of Nepomuk listening to what he's being told. And eventually, on the other side, that's him being thrown off the bridge. Did we ever show this or no? No? We never showed it? There you go. Watch out, watch her back. So that's the second John of Nepomuk we saw. The third one is, I don't think did we ever show a Czech flag? Well, there's a Czech flag above the boat there. It's actually a sailing boat. And right above it, in the sort of an arch, in the yellow, is another statue of St. John of Nepomuk. He's everywhere. Shall we? The bridge is from 1357, which is all the odd numbers going up. Some people also say it was, they were starting to build it on, or opened it. Now I'm in trouble. Opened it or started building it? No, 1357, 9th of July at 5 o'clock, 31 minutes, because it's all the odd numbers going up and down, but obviously a myth. Here's another, not a statue, but appearing of St. John of Nepomuk. So that's his body on the river under the bridge. And more likely you know this metal thingy from our videos because we cut off the love locks. There's more love locks under it. And obviously, virtual fist bump with the honest lamp. If there's people watching that don't know what the honest lamp is, you're apparently in the wrong live stream. And if you do know what the honest lamp is, big up to you and thank you for watching. Honza's hands must be freezing, and I'm sorry, man. It's pretty cold. We'll speed up a bit. There's one. What was I going to say? Oh, repairing the statues. Quite often they repair them, they clean them. So sometimes you'll see some of them are under construction, under the metal bars and covered up. So this one is just, I guess, going on the repair. It's weird how you sort of get used to eventually the bridge looking like this. I don't know if I should say anything. Oh, yes, yeah. Sure. Honza said that we should show you the river without the boats, without the ships. Normally you always see ships turning around here. There's big ones because they always go up here under the bridge to show it to the tourists, and then they just go back. That's very my opinion, and I'm sorry. I guess people do know I hate the hop-on, hop-off buses. They just pollute the city, don't do much for it. I feel the same way about these boats, especially now when tourism was slowly coming back in the summer. You would see and we experienced it with Honza. We were on the canoe. There would be 4 or 5 people on this massive boat that, has the consumption of petrol like my car in its entire lifetime. So I would rather just take those people on the canoe instead of, waste all this pollution and pollute the river. But it's that little green soul in me that's speaking now. Sorry about that opinion. There's one that's electric. One of the boats. I just saw a tram, so I figured, there can be electric boats. Well, partially there are. Yeah, you can see the castle behind me now. The president is going to address the nation today at 8 o'clock. So if you're curious about the current situation, you can turn to the people that actually understand it, which you can look up. I'm actually quite often facing tourists that come here and they don't absolutely know what the rules are. So all this information is always available in English on the official websites if you're up to it. There's new love locks, dude. We totally got to get our cutters and cut them off. Yeah, and there's more there. Check it out. I don't know if you heard him. He was like, no.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I know, man. Kochancie. I don't know who that is. But hey, F you. I just thought about it today, how bizarre that is that we were having arguments with tourists that were telling us how dare you take off the love locks? I was like, how dare you go somewhere, a place that is beautiful, you admire it, and the only thing you can come up with is put a love lock on something. That's bizarre. There's the little baby angel with trdelník. Do we want to show it? Of course we do. So I'm sure you know that the traditional Czech thing is trdelník, but there are some people who say it's not traditional. Of course it is. I mean, it's even on a statue on the Charles Bridge. Check it out, the angel's holding it. So even the angels were loving trdelník, but it's fair to say only with Nutella. All right, whenever you see an angel with a trdelník and it doesn't have Nutella in it, it's not the original Czech recipe. My grandma would always make trdelník for me and Honza, and she would always, you know, put Nutella in it and M&Ms, and she would open a Mountain Dew and be like, here guys, traditional Prague meal. Thanks, Grandma. Moving on, or you want me? Oh, sure. If you're just joining in, you're watching the Honest Guide live tour through Prague, Czech Republic. My name is Janek, that's Honza. This is what millions of people come to Prague, and our job is to make videos about Prague. And since right now it's difficult to travel or even come to Prague, we've decided to do this live stream and slowly walk you through the royal way of Prague through our eyes. And we've actually...
Where's the free beer?
Where's the free beer? Oh, and and if you only came for the free beer, I have to disappoint you. I mean, wait, let me finish. I can already be like, boo! Since the restaurants are now closed and they can only do takeout or delivery, there's beer tanks that have to be emptied. So there's a restaurant that is giving out free beer rather than to just, you know, empty it into the sewer. So that's at the end of our walk. Stick around for free beer, we'll show it to you, promise.
Q&A?
And there will be Q&A, I promise as well. I will read all the countries out loud to make my father cry. We have this thing, whenever we do live streams, my dad always joins. He loves to watch it. He always puts it up on his massive 4K TV that's the size of my apartment. And so he then always complains about the quality picture. I'm like, Dad, nobody watches it on 4K TV. But then when we read out where you guys are watching from, which also warms our hearts, to be fair, my dad usually starts crying. So let's make my dad cry today again. By the way, did you notice my awesome jacket?
How did you get it?
It's from 2007, just to be clear. And I don't remember, it was a party, YouTube party in Prague, I guess. Here's the only place in Prague where you can wear a crown. Thank you so much. See the crown? Pretty cool. So if you stand under it, if you stand right there, you can have the crown. I did a tour. Let's move a bit.
20 crowns or get some snacks for beer.
Someone just sent us 20 crowns to get snacks and beers. Well, thank you very much. That will be just about enough to get maybe a braník beer. But
It's for the snack because the beer is cheap.
oh, the beer is free. You're right. So for the snack, thank you very much. We do appreciate it. We've mentioned it a couple times. We became independent with Honza, so we do now rely on Patreons and our partners that partner with our videos and you. So thank you very much. Cool city, huh? Or like a cool tower. That's Charles IV right there. The guy was mumbling something, I'm afraid. There's another exchange office open. Someone, or oh, you gotta. I'm so sorry. So what Honza just said, we're still on a walk in Prague, but we're also very personal because we try to be honest guides. I do get notified when somebody orders our book. And right now, not too many people order it, obviously, so it's stacked up in my apartment. And Honza just said, somebody ordered our book. So like, great, thank you so much if you did. You can do it on honest.blog, and we'll prepare some special shipment for Christmas. There's a church on every corner in Prague, check it out. There's one here, there's one here, there are multiple around. And we'll...
Some more snack money.
We got more snack money. How about that? Thank you so much, guys. We're entering the Karlova Street, Charles Street, named by Charles IV. And this is the most dense street. Under normal circumstances, you get gazillion of tourists and crowds here. So as you can see, it's also changing. Candy's still open. I don't know what to say about that. Want to grab a trdelník, Honza? Come here, check out this passageway. So, under normal circumstances, this would be the place where I would show the emptiness of the downtown, which now has a different effect. I hope we're not going to lose signal here. But Prague is full of these passages. There's everywhere you can walk through a building, and there's always an exit at the other side. So if you ever come to Prague and you see a wide open door, you can walk in and discover for yourself what the insides of buildings and inner courtyards look like. So you don't have to be shy. You can just sneak peek. If somebody's going to kick you out, they'll kick you out. But don't worry, we're not going to get kicked out. There's actually a security guard at the end here. Do we want to go on the main road? Yeah, we'll do it for a bit. I don't know what's our time. Well, we have good time. Dobrý den. Tak, to is good. Hello.
Hi. Now we are
You're watching us.
watching live.
Okay, we're thank you very much. Bye. I guess they were watching us live. What are the odds? I guess they're quite high. So
Send us money for candy.
someone sent us money for candy? No. Okay, you got this idea all wrong. Well, thank you very much for supporting us. We do appreciate it highly. Yet it doesn't mean you're going to force us to go buy candy at that Captain Candy store. Just so we're clear about this.
People went crazy right now. They send us $10 for for trdelník with Nutella.
Dude, no. I mean, thank you guys, but no, that's not going to happen. We'll
You
do.
need to repeat it.
Somebody sent us $10 to buy trdelník with Nutella. So here's, I'll give a quick explanation. Can we move a bit further, actually? And please don't take this the wrong way, but any penny, any money I will spend now in the city will be on businesses that are actually struggling. And I'm sure trdelník stands right too. It's a joke, okay.
They want me to turn the camera.
Yeah, dude, yeah.
Let's
Show
see.
yourself.
Because someone wrote to rotate the camera, so we did it now. But we will do it later at the end of the show. Now we're gonna continue, and when we reach the free beer, we will do a Q&A.
Okay. I love seeing Honza in front of the camera, and you guys do too. You're tired of my face. I'm tired of my face. My mirror's tired of my face.
After we get 100 Patreons, I will do the cooking.
Yeah, that's true. If you're interested in our Patreon idea, you have to send benchmarks where you get. So you have to say, if I get 100 Patreons, we'll do this. So Honza set the mark to, if we get 100 Patreons, he will finally cook a Czech meal. So looking.
We'll do like 3-hour stream.
Oh, we'll do a very long live stream with Honzik cooking for our Patreons, and we will teach them how to make goulash with knedlíky or something like that, something really cool. I'm looking forward to it. I guess we should get back to our little tour to give you some more information. One of my favorite buildings, I want to point out once again, in the middle on the right is another statue of Saint John of Nepomuk. I'm sure you probably noticed by now, it's the only saint I know. So that's why I point him out everywhere we go. We can go say hi to Norbert, because yes, he's opened. Norbert, unfortunately, will be shutting down. And so those are the businesses I like to support, because they're, what? Why you're laughing?
Book.
What's that?
Another book.
Another somebody ordered a book right now. Well, that's great. Thank you. We should do this live stream more. I should show you the room where I have the books stocked in my house. Just so you know, the book you ordered was in my living room. Look at this. This used to be a door. What a pity. Here's Norbert's Ice Cream and Donuts. I don't see Norbert. He may be hiding somewhere. There he is. Ciao. And he's smiling. We're live stream on YouTube. And unfortunately, you're going to be closing your store, huh? Can we show your donuts?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Ahoy.
Look at these things that Norbert is making here. Much better than trdelník. Jak se máš?
Jo,
Dobrý.
Co má?
Dobrý. Jdeme. Děláme procházku Prahou.
Does he sell good donuts?
Oh, he sells great donuts. I
Yeah, I do.
I only get coffee from Norbert, so whenever I go by, I get a coffee. But I got the donuts for my mom once, and I shared it with her, and they were absolutely delicious. Unfortunately, you're one of the victims of the current situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's always smiling. That's the good thing about Norbert. Norbert, ahoj zatím.
Ahoj,
Ciao.
nechcete něco?
Ne, my jdeme, my musíme. We're going to get free beer, you know. Ciao. Norbert is a great guy. Yeah, unfortunately he has to close because he can't maintain his business. You want me to talk about this? I'm more than happy to talk about this. And yes, of course. This used to be a door. There's the cops coming. I'm just kidding. Can we move here so they can go through? So this used to be a door to the house, and now it's not. Now it's an ATM. These guys boot cars.
Say hello to Texas.
I will say hello to Texas, but let me. These are from Kansas, I believe. So if somebody's watching from Kansas, the company is situated there, and we have this argument where they claim that they do nothing bad to Prague, yet I have not an opinion but facts where I have proof that they have destroyed our heritage. They have destroyed buildings and facades of houses irreversibly. So they always say that it's not true, and I always send them the paperwork. And I said, look, it's not my opinion. I'm just saying what I was told at the city hall. That's it. I mean, I can have an opinion. I can say I dislike them, but it's a fact that they have destroyed the heritage in Prague on multiple locations. That's how it is. I'll show you one more around. And they're everywhere. They're like, hey, what do we need in Prague? We need an ATM. This is tricky here. Let's not kill ourselves. This is what Prague used to look like at what, 4 a.m. This amount of people would be here at 4 a.m. Usually, like, they would be drunk, most likely, or very early to work. But this is what it's been like for the past times. More candy? Don't you dare send us money for candy. I can't take these jokes anymore. So yeah, so this was another building here. It's called By the White Shoe. Once again, as I've mentioned in the early beginning of this live stream, instead of numbers, house would have actually names. And you can see the beautiful entrances that are now, this is an entire room, it's an entire space. It's not like there's nothing behind it, but now it's only used for an ATM. 2 of them. They're brothers. Otherwise they would be scared if they would be single. Nice door. What can you do? Not much. So this is where the guy from one of the stores told me, very soon it'll be just me and these ATMs. Guys have to know you. That's good. There's a new exchange office opened up, but a good one, which is very good. So if you ever ask us where to change money, this is the good spot right here. Green, remember. Very honest. They have to be ballsy to actually open up an exchange office in these days. Let's go this way. I don't like that way. Can we? I mean, there's nothing to show. I mean, yeah, of course there's stuff to show, but I'd rather go this way because I want to show you the city hall, and I want to tell you that we did start close friends Instagram list on our Instagram. So if I go to places that I can't really show you, because it would take a lot of time and long time to explain how I got there, I put it on the close friends on Instagram. So yesterday, I was on the roof of the city hall. Well, now I'm telling everyone. And so I shared videos from that. So, of course, me and Honza, while working in the city, we get to know a lot of people. We get to a lot of places that quite often we can't really just, show to thousands of people or share the information with thousands of people. That's why we came up with the idea of close friends on Instagram. So yesterday I was running around the roof there on the city hall, which was really cool. And I got to see absolutely new and different perspective of Prague for me. So that's the city hall. That's where the non-stop running elevator is. People always ask me about it, always. They always want to know, where's that elevator? There's many of them around Prague. This one used to be open to public. Now it's not really, it's trickier, but there are still a few. That's the Prague City Library over there. Absolutely amazing building with some artwork by the entrance. If you walk in, there's a book tunnel with a mirror at the bottom and top, so it makes it an infinite book tunnel. Also, this is now sort of a pedestrian zone. It used to be a parking lot. And if I can přihrát si polívčičku, how would you say that in English? If I can boost my ego here a bit, it's partially due to my, I don't want to say lobbying, but I was one of the people who put pressure on the city hall to turn this from a parking lot into a pedestrian zone. Some people hate the place now. They say, we want the parking lot back, but I think it's much better with, I mean, it looks weird now without people, but in the summer it was nice. People would sit around on the chairs. You would have different events taking place, so it was quite nice. Shall we continue? People look at me strangely. You can move these, by the way. They're heavy, but you can move them. I've moved them a couple times. Don't tell anyone. That's the balcony of the, what's his name? Mayor. Zdeněk Hřib is our mayor. His last name would translate to mushroom. Funny. And he's not from Prague. Let's cross so we don't get run over. I know I should be talking. I know. I'm just trying to come up with things. I'm looking forward to show you. The rot. How do you say železářství, Honziku? The place where they sell screwdrivers and screws and what else they sell there? Come on. Nails and hammers. Hardware store. Somebody wrote it.
Yeah.
We're so lame.
Saved us.
Someone saved us. Well, no, I realized it. So a hardware store, and it's called Urota, and it's one of the, I guess, the oldest ones in Prague. And it's so nice because I'm sure you know all these department stores like, Home Depot, or in Europe we have different ones. And they're huge, right? They're endless. They're these huge halls. Well, in this tiny little store, they have everything you can think of. And it's tiny little, this family business. So whenever you need anything, you'll always find it here, including love locks, apparently. Now they're just luggage padlocks. Dobrý den. So it's a great place. You can take a quick look, sort of. So is that Patamat? Wait, Patamat is in the chat? That's my dad, obviously. No. We'll walk around that way, yeah? We're at the other side of the city hall. This is the back entrance. So that's where the non-stop running elevator is. I don't know if I mentioned it ever on the Honest Guide show, but all these buildings are city owned. And believe it or not, but most of them are empty. So you would think that we're in downtown Prague where the property has extreme value. It has to be super expensive to live here, right? Well, nobody's living here. The city is not really taking good care of these specific properties and many others. There are stores in the bottom. There's a restaurant here, there's a coffee place, there's a pub, there's a glass shop, but from the first floor up, there's nothing there. It's empty. There is a website that collects information about empty houses in Czech Republic, and you would think that you'll find empty houses only on the outskirts of Prague, but it just shocks you how many empty houses are on the main squares. It's like having an empty skyscraper on Manhattan. You would think that would be impossible, but it is very much possible. Now the lamps are lighting up, and you can tell it's the gas lamp because it has that little notch. This is square. It's called Little Square because it's little, it's small, and also the the other square, the Old Town Square, was referred to as the Large Square. So this was obviously its little brother, little sister. And the patios that used to be here are now taken apart. So I usually joke when I say that a small square is always turned into a large restaurant over the summer, because there's only like little passageways in between the restaurant patios. And this is the only building that is actually being used out of all the empty ones. And it's used for the famous Scouts Institute that we always mention in our videos, but it's a nice hideout. Now they also have a takeout window where they can give you a coffee or something. So let's go, Teen Church, here we go. So I've just recently done a tour, like a week or 2 weeks ago, through the City Hall. If you buy a ticket and go up onto the tower, you also get a ticket where you can go into the basements. And originally the street level was much lower. They were just adding it up and eventually made it much higher. And the tour is amazing. I actually had the coolest guide, girl. She was really great. I put her on Instagram and she replied to me. She knew me and she never said a word that she knows me, but she was absolutely perfect. You not only see the underground of the buildings, but they'll take you through all the rooms here. And they also show you the back of the astronomical clock, of the apostles. So you can see the figures that turn on the astronomical clock. It was quite interesting. And I hope one day we will be able to show you that. Hey, need an ATM? There's 2 there. These bloody ATMs. I don't know what the guy was pointing at me, but he was doing this, like he wanted me to drink. Astronomical clock. Eventually we should make a video where we will explain this clock. As of right now, it will just be me guessing and making stuff up, so I don't think it's fair to say much about it, but you can tell what month it is, what day it is, what part of the year it is, if we're in solar, where's the moon and the sun compared to the Earth, unless you think the Earth is flat, obviously, which just makes you dumb, but kind of cool too. Do I want to say something here? Every hour it rings, it makes the apostles go around. But there's one thing I should mention here on the square, and that's a new addition to Old Town Square, which is the Mary's Column. And it was raised this summer, believe it or not. I just told it to the tourists today, and they were like, what do you mean? Like that thing is from 2020? Yes, it is. It was here originally, but then it was torn down after 1918 when we became sovereign as a country, as Czechoslovakia. And some people didn't like, or they would consider it to be the Austrian-Hungarian memory, or am I saying it correctly? Does that make sense? So they actually tore it down. And they were, guys, believe it or not, there were huge fights if it should be put back in or no. It was like this massive, cockfight where one argument was it shouldn't be there, it should be there, and you were either pro or against it. There was nothing in the middle. So when people were asking me, like, do you want it there? I was like, I don't really care. But it's up here. I think it's nice. It shows on noon. There's a poledník, the things that run around the Earth. What are those?
The Greenwich thing?
Whatever. On noon, it casts the shadow on the line that's on the ground. We're the worst tour guides you could possibly get. I mean, we're honest about it, but we're the worst.
But free beer at the end.
But free beer at the end. We totally got people to watch us for the free beer. Also, part of the building is missing. It was wasn't a bomb, but it was a grenade from a tank. I was just told on the tour, so it collapsed. There's voices that want to bring it back up and rebuild it to the original state of what the City Hall was, the Old Town City Hall. There were also projects to make it completely different and new. Some of them were bizarre. Those didn't pass. Also, that's an interesting fact. the church is not looking towards the square, the St. Nicholas Church, because it was never looking at the square, it was looking into the street because there was a building here. So you were supposed to be in that street. So the trees you see are not on square, they're on the street that is called Mikulášská. I actually never knew that until like a couple years ago when I was calling the cops. I always call the cops for something. And he goes, "Where are you?" I looked around to say I'm on the Old Town Square, and then I saw the sign. I'm like, "Oh, I'm actually on Mikulášská Street." Shall we move on? You can. There's a live camera feed on Old Town Square on one of the restaurants where you can see, you know, what's going on the square if you guys ever want to. Not too many. There's like nobody here living here in the windows. Oh, juice, dude. I just pulled on the cable. This will sound weird, but the column is finally, there's a place to sit on the square. Sorry, but it's true. Because Jan Hus, I'm not gonna go into history there, but that statue, you could sit on the stairs originally until there was like a terrorist attack in like 90s. Somebody put like a grenade inside the statue and somebody got hurt. So because of that, they actually made like a little garden around it with like flowers. So now you cannot go up on the statue, which will be my another lobbying on the City Hall. I will want them to open it so you could sit on the stairs, because I believe the monument, the statue was built so you could sit on the stairs. It makes sense. You're on a square, you want to sit somewhere, and I believe that the monuments or the statues are a perfect place for it. This pub right here, this Old Town Pilsner Pub, was sort of a meter on how the situation in Prague with tourism is like. So originally a beer here was like 7 euros. Then all the tourists left and they dropped it down to 2 euros. And then tourism was slowly coming back. So then it went to 3 euros, then 4 euros, then 5 euros. So it was really funny to see how they reflect locals versus tourists. We did go inside this pub with my friends to like feel how tourists feel, but then we rather just support the businesses that were treating us the same way always. Many journalists that try to bring you news from Prague and try to, you know, give you the news, the true news, they always take a picture of this store and they always say, businesses in Prague running out of business because of COVID. This place has been shut down for 4 years because it's a building owned by the city and they just never care about if they get any income out of it. So, you know, news. I mean, I don't want to trash talk news. I'm sorry. No, I didn't mean it a bad way. But it's just like, you see a photographer take a picture of the store. And I'm like, yeah, dude, that's been closed for 4 years. It has nothing to do with the current situation. Like, do we want to talk about there's a coffin on Old Town Square? We really do? Oh boy. That will, you will even make me read it, huh? All right, Thai massages. They're here, they're in this beautiful building, they're green and red, and they sell a coffin because legally they can't put advertisement in front of the store, but if it's a good they're selling, if it's goods they're selling, like their products, they can legally have it here. So the coffin says, please don't let us die, but it's actually for sale for 2,000 euros. That's the background story. There should be a price tag on it, by the way. There's no price tag on it. That's weird. There you go. Oh. Some people say the massages are great. You know, they run this massage place on the Czech Groupon, and people can like write reviews, and some of the bad reviews were, it's hard to get there with a car. Like, yeah, really? It's on Old Town Square. Like, how would you want to get there? Yeah, ATM, check it out. And more Thai massages. Oh, another ATM. Like, really? These things are just happening to me. We're in Saladna Street. I'm sorry, I should be guiding you more than ranting about weird places. We're in Saladna Street, where there's a big construction of a hotel complex going on right now. It's in many of these buildings, so that's why you see some of the buildings have their windows out or they're covered up, and you can see the crane above me. So this will be a huge, huge hotel complex in many of these buildings that were empty for quite some time, or at least a few of them were. So I don't know when that's supposed to be finished, but I'm quite curious about that. Saladna Street is beautiful. It's much wider than the other streets on the royal path, on the royal way, which was the way kings would go up to the castle. So we like it with Honza, and you can really never see it like this. So this, yeah, I can show you the story with the Thai massages again, because they do have the chairs outside here, which I know this may seem like a silly, stupid war I'm having with this place, but they just like violate the laws in weird ways. So they could have the chair here. So they could have the chair here. Where's the price tags? Oh, they just got rid of it. Well, but they would always have a price tag on it, and the price tag would be something absolutely ridiculous. Like you could buy the chair for 2,000 euros, or you could buy the carpet. It's just bizarre. Looks really strange. Here's a Charles University bookshop that I always send tourists to, because they have great books, including ours. And yeah, it's a good store. I should be talking more, right? We're approaching one of the newer buildings on the Royal Way. It's called Chocotopia now, which I have no idea what Chocotopia is. But it's a building built by Gochar, and it was, I believe, one of the, not shopping malls, but like stores. And I believe Batya, the shoe company, was in it. Or at least this is what I remember from my friend architect. And I never noticed the building, how different it is, obviously, from all the other buildings on the street. So can you imagine how much fuss this must have created when they were putting this building up? And remember this building because this architect Gochar not only built this one, but also another one on the street. And this one has been pretty much covered up with, who's that? That's Katy Perry. Katy Perry and Harrison Ford. So it's like eventually I guess they're just gonna cover it up, the entire thing, with a banner. But the next building I want to show you made by... Hi.
What's up, guys?
The next building I will show you at the end of the street is also made by Gochar, and that one is always pointed out and visited by tourists because it's a Cubist building. And I'm sure you know Cubism, you know Picasso, right? You know Picasso. And we're one of the only places in the world that has not only Cubist paintings and galleries, but we also have Cubist architecture. So that's that building that I'll show you momentarily. Are we slowing down because something's happening? We're all good? Okay, good. I was nervous for a second. Oh, you wanted a better shot, huh? Honza's really tuning this up. What I was going to say. Oh yeah, so here the corner building is the Cubist one that we'll show you. There's a coffee place that I regularly go to, or used to go to, on the first floor that is called by the Black Madonna, Grand Café Orient. And this is the house by the Black Madonna. That coffee place is amazing. You should absolutely visit if you're ever in Prague. And the building is amazing, the interior is amazing. The bottom place, I've been there a couple times. It's pricier, it's more touristier because it's on the street level. But the upper one is really something, and the building is obviously beautiful. So, and we'll stop here for a second. So usually guides point out this building and they never let people to go inside. So I always suggest the tourists to, I mean, yeah, listen to the story of the building, but then, you know, go inside. There's a beautiful staircase and the beautiful coffee place, which is really worth going to. But I have this now attached to a completely different story, and that's the fact that here's an exchange office that has really bad rates. And it's not only the bad exchange office, but there's usually guys who hang around here and they cheat tourists by exchanging money with them on the street, claiming those money is Czech crowns, but it's actually Belarusian rubles. I don't know if you ever saw that story that we covered. Honza has Belarusian rubles? No way! You're the coolest man. Holy moly, you got lots of those. So these are Belarusian rubles. They're worthless, worth absolutely nothing. So usually guys would approach tourists here. This is pedestrian zone, by the way. They would approach a tourist and they would say, "Oh, watch out, this exchange office is really bad. I'll give you a better rate," and they'll give them these bills that are worth nothing. So back to the coffee place. That's where I would spend days and weeks and months and years, weekends, nights, just sitting with my camera, with my phone, filming how these guys cheat people. Here's the worst part. I sometimes had to have it filmed to prove that there's a scam going on, to have evidence for the police. Let me just wait till this kid drives away. I would always need to have evidence for the cops, so I would know there's a serious criminal situation going on, but I just like didn't want to step in, so I would have evidence, and then later I would need to catch those people both at the same time, which was super difficult. But that's what was going on here. It was like every day. I'll give you back your money, buddy. Money, buddy. Another fun fact, since we were above the sewer. So whenever I chase them, these crooks, and they have the money on them, they always try to get rid of it. And they usually throw it in the trash can or on their car. And once they threw it in the sewer. And I really wanted the money. It's a souvenir for us that we collect with Honza. So I called the sewer company and I said, "Hey, I dropped a lot of money into the sewer. Can you get it for me?" They're like, "Yeah, sure. It's $100 to get it out." And yeah, so if you drop something into it, it's $100. You don't want to drop anything in it. So it was not worth it. Hello. Thank you so much. Just making one. Bye-bye. By the way, did I ever mention it on Honest Guide? This building used to be owned by my uncle. My uncle from Canada used to own this building. It's a beautiful corner building here in Saladna. Yeah, he got it from a restitution because the communists took it away from him. He's not like my direct connection uncle, but Henry Fight. And he was a great guy. He passed away, but he would always come to Prague and he would have to stay in a hotel because he didn't have a free apartment in this building, and he couldn't climb up all the stairs to the attic, and they wouldn't let him build an elevator inside due to, historical restrictions. So eventually they sold the building. I'd be a billionaire if I'd owned that. The cobblestone is gone. Now we're on asphalt, which means you got to watch out for cars more. But we're approaching the Powder Gate. This is what the world looks like now in Prague. There's always deliveries going on to Britain. Everybody's getting takeout, or people just grab their food, get it home, which is what I did today with my favorite Vietnamese food. But Powder Gate is attached to the Municipal House that we'll show you in a minute. And it's called powder because it's made out of powder. There was a lot of powder in Prague. They're like, "What do we do with all this powder?" And they made the tower. Of course not. It's made out of stones. The reason it's called Powder Gate is because they were storing gunpowder in the tower. I'm sorry, I made this false claim. And in Prague, we always want to have something called the double safety. It's like wearing a belt and, how do you call these, that holds your pants? So if there's a no left turn, there's a no left turn, man. Sorry for being such a dork. And once again, I'm gonna boost my ego. We're slowly coming to a sunset, so it's getting darker. I hope you can still see and hear us. If you're just tuning in, you're tuning into a live walk with Janek where he shows off his successes. So right here used to be a parking lot. You can see the remainings of the blue line here. So this was a parking lot, and the only car that was always standing here was a promotional limousine for erotic club. And a person I know was in charge of the Prague transportation on Prague 1, and I said, "Dude, you can get rid of these parking spots because it's only occupied by this promotional limo, and it's under a Gothic Powder Gate. Like, cars shouldn't be parking there." And he was like, oh yeah, sure. I actually thought about it. Yeah, I'll do it. So that's another little success I consider. I did have a little part in it. This is the building of Czech National Bank. I wish we could one day show it to you, because we mention it quite often on our videos, because these are the people dealing obviously with all the money, but also with the crooked exchange offices. And the building inside is absolutely amazing. It's so beautiful, you have no idea. They have beautiful exhibitions in the basements and in the vaults. There's these huge doors you can open, and they gave us shredded money, like 100,000 crowns in shredded money. So it's very interesting, and right now I want to praise them because they were really doing a great job with shutting down the latest exchange offices. We also sort of had a beef with them, but it really is an amazing building. And facing it, on the other side, is the Municipal House, which you usually attended for balls and concerts. And this is the most bizarre taxi. I see it around a lot. It's the weirdest car. It's just weird. But Municipal House, very nice, with a lovely balcony that I was on, because they actually, believe it or not, invited me for the City Hall ball. So I was hanging around there, having a small talk with the mayor, you know, being like, what's up, what's up? It's like, you know, how's the Prague going? He was like, yeah, how's the Honest Guide going? I'm like, yeah, well, you know, little chit chat. So Municipal House. And we're slowly coming to the free beer, because that's what you guys are here for, right? You only came for the free beer, so we're slowly getting to it, and we'll be there momentarily. And as I mentioned in the beginning, the reason there's free beer is because the beer in the pub we're going toward, the restaurant for takeout, is in beer tanks, and they cannot, they cannot leave it in the tanks because it would go bad. So they just don't want to get rid of it into sewer or waste. So they rather give it to people either for free or for some sort of donation. So I guess we do have some money to give for the beer, but in a way it's free, and we will get it over a window where you just ring a bell and they'll fill up a bottle for you. You cannot drink it as of right now because, funny story. The government actually forbid to drink alcohol in public, but it's actually already forbidden on most of places in Prague, for example. So if you ever see bloggers, usually from US, I see that quite often on YouTube, and then they say, Prague is great, you can drink on the streets. There's no restrictions on drinking alcohol in public. And usually when you scroll down, there will be my comment saying, that's not true. And it is not true. The entire way we just walked with you, with the camera, 90% of it, there's an alcohol ban where you cannot drink alcohol. The ban is not as strict as it would be, for example, in US. Like if you would sit here with a beer, you wouldn't have, nowadays, yes, but before, you wouldn't have such a problem. It was mainly made so there wouldn't be a group of people drinking the entire day, so the cops would have a way to send them out. Just like the guys behind you, but don't film them. They have like these two huge plastic bottles of beer just drinking braník. Square of Republic Square, náměstí Republiky. And we're slowly closing in into a street where there's hotels. It's called Vcelnici. And actually, it's one of the most hideous streets in Prague with weird buildings. But there's this new restaurant that did we ever show it on the Honest Guide? We did not. We are pretty hello. We sometimes repeat with places we show you, but it's also due to the fact that we have many new viewers and we do want to repeat places, but apparently we never showed you this one. So it's called by the Red Deer, Červený jelen. I was here once with BuzzFood channel. BuzzFood? Is it BuzzFeed? I'm sorry, BuzzFeed food. And the girl was laughing because she kept saying Červený jelen. And then I said, well, it's the red deer. And she goes, ah, red deer, that's why it's outside, this red deer. So here's the red deer. We'll walk in and we'll see how the thing is with the free beer. So if you're here, there's Mazachka, you can't see it. Man, damn sorry. So here's the red deer. Deer with angel wings, Červený jelen. and we'll walk in this beautiful passage. Prosím, já vás nebudu zdržovat. There's a great Asian restaurant next to it that I once was at, and also a lovely sweet shop. This restaurant is, I keep saying it's brand new, but it's been here for almost a year now, or more than a year. And it's gonna be a year. And it has a beer tank tower, largest in the world. So you know that we put beers in tanks, and they here have about, I'm gonna mix up the exact number, but 12 tanks, and they're stacked up on top of each other. We will not be able to show you because the restaurant is closed. We cannot go inside, or we can maybe only take it out. But it's really amazing inside. It's an old bank, and there was a vault that they carved and got inside, and it really was, it's really amazing place. A great beer, great food. I mean, whoa, let me tell you, I was here with a German TV crew filming, and these guys ordered like a plate for 6 people. It was pricey, it was like 100 euros, but you know, for a plate for the entire table. And the food was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. So I had to bow down. I'm not the person who eats expensive that quite like too much. I usually get a frozen pizza at home. So it's easy to impress me, but this was really something. Also the chef that was working there is a friend of mine, Shimon, Chef Shimon. So he came to the table and explained to us which meat was. And once again, I'm no expert, but it was really good. And we're not paid by them to say that, by the way, but I guess you figured that out. So how does the free beer work here? Is there now like 50,000 viewers? So let me put on a mask so we don't, let me use disinfectant. And let me, wasn't that? Ah. Je to naručil, že jo? I was like, is that for hands? Is that for hands or toilet? Should I be immediately like, so we're here for the free beer? That would be kind of rude, wouldn't it? A ty s klukom volali, nebo ne? Věděli o nás, jo? Hello. Dobrý den. Dobrý den. My jsme slyšeli, můžeme mluvit anglicky, my vysíláme živě a chtěli jsme vás ukázat, můžeme? Yeah? We heard there's something like free beer.
That's no problem.
That's not a problem. So is the story that you have to get rid of the beer in the tanks, or what is the story?
We have the root wall in the tanks, and if you want a beer, that's no problem. If you want, we have only
plastic bottle.
So you can order it. And if you have Instagram, and if you put it on Instagram, the Červený jelen, it's up to you what price.
Okay. Well, so if we can get one bottle, it would be perfect.
Yeah, well, that's no problem.
Thank you so much. So the deal is, it's free, but you have to tag them on Instagram. So instead of tagging them on Instagram, we're gonna show them to the entire world with our YouTube live stream. And so this is Červený jelen. I'm tagging them now. So you know, there's always a catch to the free, but we will still obviously pay them because I think it's fair. And so it's 200 crowns. That's what our currency looks like if you've never seen it. 200. And this is about what a price of 4 beers in Prague would be. So just so you know, this is not Czech money. Honza trying to do a little trick here on me. I saw that. We can try pay with that to the guy. So I will tell him we will not tag him on Instagram, but we're live streaming him, and we will still pay for it. They do have a takeaway choices here, so you can see they have soups, main courses, burgers. Wow, look at that.
And I've had their svíčková. It's probably the best svíčková I've ever had. Seriously.
Well, I guess we can wait at the table here. Unfortunately, we will not be able to drink the beer here. We have to take it home. because that is restricted now in Prague to drink beer. That's what he also mentioned. He said, I'll give it to you in a bottle, but not to drink here. So that's the only way we can support them now. And I guess now we can turn the camera around to have Honza talk as well. We still want to get the beer, right? Okay. So it's been a nice hour walk, proving that Prague is walkable. If you would see the map that we walked most of, I would say, the sites that you want to see on your vacation in Prague. The reason why we always tell you to walk is that you can cover most of the things you want to see in a day, and then the next day you can really do things like anything. You can go to the Prague Zoo or anything. Oh yeah, I can show it. So this is the map of Prague, and we walked from where you see the P all the way to the blue dot. So we walked from, where it is, Malá Strana here, across the Charles Bridge, Old Town Square, Sex Machine Museum. Why does that even show up? And then to the blue dot. Let me give you the phone and pay for the beer here. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
We will not put you on Instagram, but we're live streaming it to YouTube, and yet, of course, we will still pay because that's how it should be.
That's great. So, nazdravím.
Nazdravím. Thank you very much. Thank you. Plzeňské pivo. So this is the only way you can get beer now in Prague, is to go to drink at home. So now we do have time, obviously, for your questions, if there are any, regarding the walk. I don't want to talk much about the current situation because you can look it up, obviously, online on the government website if you're interested in what the restrictions and the current situation is. I'm no expert in this, so if we may stick to Prague-related questions. But go ahead, Honziku, you can read them.
I will try.
You will try. We will do our best. And after 4 questions, I'll turn it to Honza.
Are you still trying to find scammers?
If we're still trying to find scammers, it's a great question. It would be impossible now because due to the fact that there's almost 0 tourists, the scammers are not here. Yet they're the first ones to come back. The minute the tourism came back in summer, the same minute the scammers were here.
Can I order food from Červený Jelen?
If you can order food from Červený Jelen, so if you're a foreigner in Prague, I believe you can. I guess just go to their website, and that is the best way you can do now to support the business you like. You can order from them. Usually, if you order directly from them, it's better than through the services, because I know from friends of mine that they do pay a lot of percentage to, the delivery services. That was a very honest question, maybe too honest. Honzik is scrolling through all of your questions as they're popping up from all around the world. And I would like to say hello to wherever you are watching right now, especially to my dad in his living room on the 4K TV.
How do you say chlebíček?
How do you say chlebíček is the question? Well, the answer is in the question, chlebíček. It's an open-faced sandwich. You cut a bread, you put butter, some tomato on it, a piece of salami, cheese, egg. That's what Honza likes the most. He hates eggs. And you don't put anything on top of it. That's how you eat it. Chlebíček. We could have shown you one on the way.
Pronunciation.
Chlebíček. Chlebíček. Czech. Chlebíček. It's a little bread. That's what it is. Duh, Janek.
Second favorite Prague bridge.
Second favorite Prague bridge.
I wonder if they know what's the first one.
Yeah, because you don't know what my first one is. Maybe second favorite would be the Charles, and the first one would be Troja Bridge, like Troy, the city in, where. So it's Troja, spelled Troja bridge. It's brand new, it's white, it's beautiful, and you can look it up. It's not in the city center, but it's really beautiful Prague bridge.
Does it ever snow in Prague?
If it ever snows in Prague is the question, and the answer is yes. Usually we get the snow only for the morning. Quite often it melts by the afternoon, but I remember winters when there was snow for days and even weeks, even in the city center on Charles Bridge.
Best jazz bar?
Best jazz bar is a question. There's a jazz dock is a bar and also a dock on the river. So that's the first one I can think of. And the other one is Little Glen, which is a restaurant on Malá Strana, where we started our walk. So Little Glen is good for jazz as well.
What is best Czech dessert?
What is best Czech dessert? Obviously, I'm speaking right now for the entire country when I say what's the best Czech dessert, and it's of course Laskonka. Laskonka, Laskonka. I wish there was like a chat with pictures that our moderators could, give you a picture of what we're talking about. But we will repeat these live streams from my living room because I've set it up a studio almost, where we will be able to show you pictures as we speak.
Would you do a local accommodation guide for different groups of people, families, friends, etc.?
Would you do a local accommodation guide? I'm sure we will. When this topic becomes relevant, we will do such videos as where to stay for families, where to stay for if you're traveling alone. But as of right now, we will try to bring you videos that are more of a watch. Like you can just enjoy Prague through the computer instead of telling you, this is a place that you should now go for a coffee, because obviously you can't really go now for a coffee. Or it's hard. Or it's tricky.
Will we ever see your dad again in the video?
If you'll ever see my dad in the video, of course you will, and I'm sure he's excited to show up again. We can move, if we may, to the other table so people can get their free beer. If you guys are in Prague and you want to come here for the free beer, please support them too. You can take a look inside the restaurant. There's a massive kitchen on the left. It's huge. It's like a 3-story place. Now Honza will put the phone over there, facing us, and we will both sit here, so you don't have to hold it. Ciao, Honziku. Yeah, he's.
My hands are freezing.
His hands are freezing, and we can sit here. So Honza, how did you like the little walk here?
I think you did a really, really great job, and I think you can tell that by the number how many people were watching the show. I'm really surprised. I'm happy.
I've no idea how many people watched the show, and I'm happy you didn't tell me.
I didn't tell Janek at all.
Because I'm now, and also I'm not good. I still can't see it, but I get nervous when there's too many people watching, and that's why we start a new Instagram and YouTube account every once in a while, because whenever there's more than 100 subscribers, it makes me nervous.
It's so hard to read the questions now. So
well, I was going to do like an interview with you.
Oh, someone is sending us a sticker. Hello. So what are your plans for tomorrow, for the weekend?
Well, on Sunday we'll be shooting something with Honzi, something not public. We do other stuff as well. And on Saturday we were supposed to have a talk to students.
Oh yeah, I forgot to ask you, but I guess it's cancelled.
I'm sure it's cancelled,
yeah.
Because now you cannot have gatherings of more than 6 people. So anything
okay.
Group related is now obviously cancelled. I hope you guys still can hear us when I pick this up. But Honziku, you can tell me what episodes you edited. Because Honza is in charge of editing the episodes, so what can people look forward to? But
funnily enough, on Sunday evening, because we publish new episodes every Sunday, if you still haven't, if we didn't get the message across, so now it's time for us to tell.
Yeah, also
so
don't
every Sunday.
If we didn't get the message across.
And the episode that will come out is actually the one you edit.
Oh, true.
And it's a good one. It's a good one.
We planted grass in Prague because there was a big topic of what can people do during quarantine and how can we change Prague to a better place in terms of tourism. So we came up with the idea to restore a park. So we actually did, and you'll see it this Sunday.
Yeah, it's really great. It's really great.
Should I look at because I can't, you hold this for a second. I'll get my glasses.
Okay.
Where are they?
So we will be able to see the questions better.
Here are my glasses, lovely. I still can't see them. Why did you,
It's really fast.
Where's I can't see it, man. There's 2,000 people watching? And get out of here.
The peak was 2.8.
You're joking.
Yeah.
There's 2,000 people watching this?
Yeah. It's really amazing.
Insane.
It's insane.
Like, what the hell?
I'm not sure if you guys are maybe watching on computer. It gets kind of easier to read the chat, but for us on the mobile phone, it's kind of complicated. So if we didn't actually manage to read your questions, I'm really sorry.
I'm really sorry. I'm so shocked that there's 2,000 people watching, but that's like insane people.
I'll try to show you how does it look like for us. How should I do it? So for us, the chat moves so fast. It's kind of complicated, so sorry about that.
But there's somebody who wait, how well, we can click here to read the question. What's Honza's second favorite bridge?
Well, the second would be the Charles. Probably.
What was your first favorite?
Mostlegi.
Mostlegi?
Mostlegi, it's
the Legion Bridge. You can find it.
Runs across if you Google that,
island.
it's right next to the National National Theater. It's where my school was. So I walked that bridge so many times, and I just think it looks so much better. Nice. And you can run, with tram over the bridge, and you get to see the castle. I think it's a good bridge.
Yeah, it's you're right, and it runs across the island, which makes it also interesting. Yeah, interesting. Well, if you tap on the people who actually contributed to us with money, which thank you, we'll read your questions now. Thank you, an excellent live stream. Scotland.
We're sending our best regards to Scotland.
Our love to Scotland, and
we've been multiple times.
Yes.
How many times have you been to Scotland?
Twice. Always drove.
Yeah.
Always drove. And say hi to Ewan McGregor, my favorite Scot person, right after you, obviously.
Right. When I'm streaming on Janek's phone and he has the notification turned on. One of the notification was Ewan McGregor's new episode is up. Oh. So I guess that's a
you click on that one, yeah.
Some more free beer money.
So somebody sent us 500 crowns. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for your support. As we've mentioned, that's why we started Patreon. We became independent on corporations and companies in terms of our employment, and we are now running our channel on ourselves. We will still partner with companies on, as you saw, many of the videos were sponsored, but we.
Well, money, come on.
I know. Okay, I know. But where I was going with this is that. We try to stay as honest as possible, obviously. Can you click on that?
Yeah, I'll try, but my hand is in front of the...
Yeah, the lens. Hi, guys. Vince
Hello to
from Brazil. I'm thinking of doing videos like yours, but for Sao Paulo. What do you think about the idea? Credits will be given. I'll be more than happy to share tips with you on how, for example, we started. So I think honesty is a good part. So just film what you like. I want to see what a restaurant in Sao Paulo looks like. I want to see what you do. I want to see where you go for coffee. Because if I put Sao Paulo in Google, I'll get the same results pretty much everywhere. But I want to
try to make it from your point of view. That's what we try to make it, like the locals' point of view. Because if you open a Lonely Planet or a Rough Guide, whatever of these guides, they will probably have all the same things. But that's probably not how you live in the city, because you have probably different favorite restaurants. Try to show those. That's how we try to make the show. We don't focus on what's written in some other different guides, but we're trying to make the show as we live our life.
As we live our life. So that's a good point. Can I? I'll try to click on these. I'm sorry. If we've read these, we read this one.
This one. Yeah.
Sorry for watching.
What?
Enjoy your beer. If you don't have any, get some. Well, Katze, you don't have to say sorry for watching. We're more than happy you are. And I'm extremely shocked that there's 2,000 people watching.
It's amazing.
I guess we're violating the rule of 6 people together now. Are there any gay bars left in Prague? Thank you for the donation and the question as well. There are gay bars in Prague, yet we're not gay. So I've only been once and it was called Friends. But I don't know, we get this question asked a lot. And sometimes I think well, gays can go to regular bars too. I guess you guys, I don't know if you want to find a hookup or if
Well, I would start with saying that Prague is, liberated. the very liberal culture.
Yeah, it's not like liberated, like we were in trouble and it was liberated.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, but it's very liberal. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
So
absolutely.
people won't probably give you weird looks.
Oh, Jesus, no.
So that should be safe, but also as of right now, all the clubs are closed. So
even the gay bars, man. Sorry.
So, yeah, we're not making any differences now, but
they just closed the gay bars, man. They're totally focusing.
Yeah,
on
so that doesn't work that way, luckily. And France is a place I've been with my friends many times because they, for some reason, they always dragged me there after the some pubs closed and we wanted to dance, and I always felt like it's such a great place where no one's judging you.
That is true. That is true. That's how I felt when I was in France. Is that no one's judging you? But my friend I was there with, who's also straight, had the best idea to hit on like every girl he came across, which was just horrible to watch his struggle to try to like
But I think that that's the thing that some people think it's a challenge.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. It's weird.
But hey, man, look it up. We're not the best ones to help in this.
Yeah, but they're definitely not open as of right now.
Oops. Honzico, help.
We're doing something on the display you cannot probably see.
Why can I see that? Oh, here we go.
When will we see Honza's cooking episode? Also want to see more baking videos. The last one stressed me out too much, which was fun. Well, thank you for the trdelník video. It was a lot of fun to make, I have to say. It was funny because we were supposed to film me cooking that day, but then Janek just said, let's make trdelník, come on, let's make trdelník. And so we scratched the whole idea of making a proper meal. And we made trdelník instead, and I think it was a great choice because it was a lot of fun. And so we currently set up our Patreon that if we reach 100 people, that I will do the cooking. So when that's gonna happen, which eventually, if it's gonna happen, we don't know, honestly.
Here's a tip for you. If you just send $2, you'll make us go to 100 Patreons, and then we'll do obviously the live stream for everyone, for all the Patreons, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really want you to do the goulash. Here's the idea: you can make goulash, and then I can make the knedlíky,
the dumplings,
the fruit dumplings, because I did it already with Eliška, so we can do that.
Yeah, and baking. Well, I'm not much of a baking guy.
Baker,
yeah. Because we never had oven. When I was growing up, we never had oven, so it was hard to bake anything if you don't have the oven.
But we can do buchte.
We can do.
I think the deal should be that Honza will make the main course meal, and in the meantime, I can do the dessert or do some baking aside from the camera, so we can both really use up my kitchen.
Yeah. The funny thing is, I don't want to make goulash.
Oh, you want to do something different? I'm sorry, I keep forcing you into goulash.
Yeah, you do.
Whatever,
I'm
sorry. Honza will make whatever his desire is.
I want to make my most favorite Czech meal.
Okay, and that is?
That's a secret.
We'll see. Greetings from New York. I miss Prague so much.
Oh,
Thanks
I miss New York so much.
For all you do. Hopefully, I can take my wife soon.
We will be very happy to welcome you here.
Wick Sauce, I guess, is how you pronounce. Thank you so much for a donation, and we actually do miss New York with Honzica a lot. I miss my family.
You're really not supposed to.
I'm not allowed to go.
You're not allowed.
You only direct family. Only. So I have cousins, and my uncle are in U.S., and there's no way I can go now. Nick is greetings from Sofia, Bulgaria. Please come visit next year. Do you have plans for making something like franchise about other cities? We do have plans to go to other cities, and just today I made friends from Varna, Bulgaria, and I paid for their coffee because I said the deal is that when you're in my city, I pay for you, but when I'm in your city, you pay for me. So with Alexander and Christina, we became friends on Facebook, and they promised to take me around Varna. So nice. Varna Honest Guide coming soon, and we do plan to do, of course, other cities. So thank you, Nick, for asking. And here's another one from Raf X Gaming. What level of Czech is required to study at the majority of universities? I know it varies. I think I'm starting to get close to B1. Raf, I have no idea. Yeah. I'm actually right now partially working for the Charles University, doing videos showing off their faculties. But many faculties will have it differently. If you can study in Czech, I believe it's free.
Yeah.
I don't want to mix up what I'm saying right now. But
no, yeah. If you study in Czech language, it's free.
But
so I think that's the question why is Raf asking this. So, but I'm not sure about the level. I think I'm not sure that the university tests that. I think it's just like if you don't speak Czech, then you won't understand. So you kind of have to. But I know that if you apply for some of the universities, you can take the first year like a 0 level kind of thing, where they get to teach you Czech language as well as part of the course.
Gotcha.
So,
hey, but good luck. And if you decide to study in Czech Republic, it'll be awesome.
Yeah.
We'll try to teach you Czech.
we teach Czech at Patreon as well.
We actually do that. Have we read this?
Thank you. Love Praha and your videos.
Thank you, Russian man. Is that? Oh, Russian. Right.
Russian. It's Russian.
I'm sorry, I can't really see it. Well, thank you, Russian man. Thank you so much. And thank you for loving our videos, sending big love back. We've read this already, correct?
Yeah.
And have we read this one?
No.
No. Greetings from German Janek to the Czech Janek. No way. Oh, but you're Jan.
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 Well, you're also Jan.
We're all Jans.
We're all Jans. Exactly.
I guess.
Someone wrote a really funny comment while we were doing the live stream that there is for every ATM there is one Jan.
Yeah, true.
In Prague. That's funny.
That is true. I guess we can wrap this up now. We've got to hour and a half.
Wow, nice.
Thank you so much for tuning in. We tried to answer as many as possible. It is really hard with 2,000 people watching. If you guys want the most private live stream there will be, you can either watch me on the Honest vlog, or if you are Patreons, there's live streams awaiting you, those will be very one-on-one almost, I would say.
Yeah. Well, it will depend on how many people.
Yeah, true. I know.
But yeah, this has been so much fun. I hope that we can talk Janek into doing this more often.
Well, today I talked you into doing this.
I think if you will actually add Janek on Instagram into some stories, then
don't do that.
If there will be like, we want you more live on Honest Guide, I think it will happen.
Well, thank you again. If you were watching and you didn't understand and you only spoke Czech, díky moc. And we'll see you. You can see us on Sunday, and we'll see you next week. I believe on another live stream, because this was fun.
This was like a lot of fun.
If you can write,
it will be more fun when we will be allowed to drink the beer.
Yeah. If you want to give us feedback in the comments later after this is finished, we'll be more than happy. And if you want to, give thumbs up to what you would like to see on the next live stream, that would also help us or move us forward in what to show or do. All right. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys. Thank you very much.
Am I clicking here?
Yeah, I have no idea.